Welcome to my channel where we talk about all things politics and especially about the forthcoming presidential election in Nigeria. Today, I want to talk about what I describe as more proofs why Peter Obi defeated Tinubu, Atiku, and Kwankwaso on the NOI and ANAP polls that has been generating a lot of buzz. I've earlier talked about it. This is the second part of it where I want to give more proof that P2B deserved the win that he got from that poll. And all things being equal, if he continue on this momentum, that is what will happen in February 2023. Now, these are the more reasons I want to give to show you that what ANAP polls showed is no different from what had been projected even much earlier than that. So I will start from much earlier than the ANAP poll to show that P2B is miles ahead of his contemporaries in this race. On May 5, 2022, there was a poll that was done which shows that P2B was the most popular presidential aspirant in Nigeria. At that time, P2B had not even defected to the Labour Party, but he had purchased form for the PDP primaries, and he was still in the PDP. So that poll is what I'm going to analyze with you here, and then more to it. Now, if you look at the poll at that time described P2B as the preferred candidate as parties hold primaries in that month of May. The result of an independent poll jointly conducted by Next Year and Data have revealed that P2B is the most preferred candidate both from the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressive Congress for the 2023 presidential election. So this poll combines both in terms of whether you are in PDP, APC, or whatever political party, that P2B was and is the most preferred presidential candidate. Next Year and Data polls featured 15 leading presidential aspirants from the two major parties. And the results favored one of the aspirants from the PDP. At that time, P2B was in PDP. The former governor of Anambra State was voted as the most preferred candidate for the 2023 presidential election. Okay? So Next Year and Data, the creators of the poll, explained that the population sampled in the poll consisted of voting age Nigerians within and outside of the country. And the respondents were picked randomly from each of the 6 geopolitical zones. They were picked randomly from each of the 6 geopolitical zones. And of all the 15 leading presidential aspirants, that featured from the APC and PDP, almost half of the respondents, that is 46.4% of who participated in that poll, chose P2B as their most preferred candidate. At this time, P2B was still in PDP. He was picked as their most preferred candidate for president in 2023 for both parties, whether you are the candidate, the respondent is either PDP or APC, he was the most preferred candidate they said they wanted. Vice President Yemi Osibanjo scored 27.84%, making him the most preferred candidate in APC and the second most preferred candidate in Nigeria, following peterobi. And the third person following peterobi after Yemi Osibanjo was Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who came third with 7.49% of the votes. Atiku Abubakar from the PDP followed as the fourth most preferred candidate with only 2.78% votes. I will put the link to this story so that you can read it and verify and share it so that people can know what we are talking about. Others pool include those who participated, who the respondents were asked to choose from. Among the list they were asked to choose from include Musa Kwankwaso, who is now the presidential candidate of NNPP, Nyeso Wike, governor of Rivers State, who narrowly lost out in the PDP presidential ticket, Godwin Emefiele, the central bank governor, Rotimi Amechi, the former minister of transportation, and the man that eventually came second in the APC presidential primary, Kayode Fayemi, the chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum and governor of Ekiti State, Bukola Saraki, former governor of Kwara State and former Senate president, and Ympayo Sanyem, former secretary to the federal government of Nigeria and former Senate president of Nigeria, Dr. Ogbonnayaono, former governor of Abia State and former minister of science and technology, Aminu Tambawa, governor of Sokoto State and the current chairman of PDP Governors Forum, former President Goodluck Jonathan, and the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. These were the people that participated in the polls that was conducted in May. So as far back as May, Nigerians have already made up their mind. That peterobi was their most preferred presidential candidate ahead of 2023. Now, these were months before ANAP and NOI poll came out recently. At this time, the candidates have already been known. Yemi Osibanjo was displaced by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we all know how he got there through the dollar rain. And peterobi emerged, left the PDP because of the dollar rain in PDP, because he foresaw it and he left and moved to Labour Party, where he eventually emerged their presidential candidate. And Rabiu Kwankwaso left PDP and formed NNPP, where he has emerged the presidential candidate of the party. And Atiku Abubakar emerged in PDP through the dollar rain, as earlier said. And the stage is now set for the 2023 presidential election. So it was not surprising that in the new poll that was done by NOI and ANAP, peterobi was tops, and he will continue to remain tops unless there is a dramatic change of mind by Nigerians. So in May, peterobi had already been seen as the most preferred presidential candidate. That was why there was a big buzz. Immediately he moved to Labour Party. Those goodwill he enjoyed in PDP followed him straight away to Labour Party. And since then, Labour Party has never remained the same again. Now, before I go further, to give you more proof that P2B deserved the win he got from NOI and ANAP, let me appeal to you that if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, I will go further now to show you why P2B continue to be the candidate to beat, and his opponents also know it. I will use Reno Omokri. Everybody seems to know him. He is one of the most vocal supporters of the presidential candidate of PDP, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Now, I'm going to show you from content analysis of his Twitter handle alone to show you that if Peterobi was not and is not the most preferred presidential candidate, he will not be so engaged with Peterobi as a candidate who is in competition with his own principal. Because so let us go through the content analysis of Reno Omokri in the last 2 months. Now, if you go through I did a content analysis of Reno Omokri, and what I discovered from between August 9 and August 31st, most of the things he posted on his Twitter handle were all about P2B. In August 9, he had 4 tweets on P2B. August 11 has 4. August 13 has 3. Now, a summary of all the tweets between 9th of August and 31st of August, Reno Omokri tweeted about P2B 80 times. Now, this, if you look at from 9th of August to the 31st of August, it means we didn't include what he tweeted between 1st of August and 8th of August, because I couldn't see that. But I saw his tweets between 9th of August and 31st of August. And they were dominated by P2B. Now, if P2B is not the man to beat, why would Reno Omokri concentrate in demarketing him this much in a month? He tweeted about P2B 80 times. And if you look at those tweets, Reno Omokri always tweet with hashtag table shaker. Now, those table shakers, where he used P2B to shake the table, so to say, was the most engaging posts he had throughout that month. The other hashtag he used in posting, which is Reno Nuggets, never got much engagement between him and those who read his posts. So P2B was the most engaging. P2B was the most attractive character that draw people to his site, to his page. And why would he concentrate on P2B? Because P2B is the most popular candidate right now in Nigeria. That was why he has to do that. Because why is he not tweeting about Sowore? Why is he not tweeting about the other presidential candidate as much as he does P2B? It is because P2B is the man to beat. P2B is the man that has been winning the hearts and minds of Nigerians. Now, in August 31st, this is what Reno Mokri put out. He conducted an opinion poll on his page, Twitter page. And that has to do with, he wanted to demarcate P2B by saying that P2B is supported by pro-Biafrans and IPOP. So he wanted to generate a skewed opinion poll, but it backfired. It didn't work for him. This is what happened. On August 31st, Reno Mokre put out a question, a voting poll in his page. He said, do you think IPOP and pro-Biafra separatists are at the core of P2B's obedient movement? Comment with your reason. Okay? Now, when he asked for this vote, 2,931 people voted in the final result. 22.6% said no. They said, we do not agree that the Obi movement is influenced by pro-Biafra or IPOP. Are you getting it? Now, 26%, 22.6% said yes, that they believe, 26% said that yes, they believe that it is pro-Biafra that supports P2B. But overwhelming majority said no, 72.4%. They said no. Now, what Reno Mokre was looking for was for the majority to say yes, so that he can now validate his earlier propaganda against P2B that most of the IPOP members and pro-Biafran groups are the ones supporting the P2B movement. But he fell woefully because majority of those who voted, of the 2,931 people that voted, they say no, we do not agree that majority of P2B's obedient movement are from pro-Biafra groups of IPOP. That is how mischievous Reno Mokri could go. But the essence of this is this. If Peter Obi was not beating his principal and others in the race, there wouldn't be any concentration on P2B. There wouldn't even be any need to care who is supporting P2B and who is not supporting P2B. But it was in an attempt for Reno Mokri to demarcate P2B. That was why he ran this poll on his Twitter handle, saying, do you think IPOP and pro-Biafra separatists are at the core of P2B's obedient movement? Only 22.6% agreed with him. They said yes. But the vast majority of those who participated said no. P2B is not a pro-Biafra movement. P2B's obedient movement is not pro-Biafra. It is a Nigerian movement for good governance. That is 72.4%. So that was how the engagement of Reno Mokri is a proof that P2B actually is the man to beat in this coming election. And I will give you more reasons too. Now, if you look at the same content analysis of Reno Mokri, I now looked at his September content. I looked at from the 1st of September to the 15th of September. Reno Mokri tweeted about P2B 110 times. So that is an average of about 4 or 5 tweets in half a month. This is between September 1st and September 15th. We are still in September. September is yet to run out. He has already tweeted 110 times between the 1st of September and the 15th of September. That is an indication that this is the man that is giving Reno Mokri, the PDP, and others sleepless nights, because he is the candidate beating them. When they ask people on the street, they discover he is the man to beat. That is why they are looking for ways to demarket him. So it is another proof that Peterobi actually won that poll. Whether you claim that it was done online or you claim it was done offline. But the truth of the matter is that ANAP NOI poll had always been correct. It cannot be different this time. They predicted Buhari's win in 2019. They predicted Jonathan's win in 2011. They predicted Buhari's defeat of Jonathan in 2015. Why should they be wrong this time around? Because Peterobi was the one that they predicted is going to win with 8-point lead. That's the question any reasonable person should ask himself or herself. Now, in September 12th, Reno Mokri also run another poll on his Twitter page, also aimed at demarketing Peterobi. It didn't work. Let me show you. On September 12th, Reno Mokri did an opinion poll on his Twitter page. He said, "Do you believe, Peterobi, that the message asking Yorubas not to vote for Obi because he will build a port in the South, which already has 5 ports, or do you think it was all a big hoax by IPOP?" So you see, in every opinion poll that Reno Mokri did, he tries to link Peterobi with IPOP. What is the intention? To demarket him. Why are you going to demarket Peterobi if Peterobi is not the man to beat? Why are you struggling so hard to demarket him? You are struggling so hard to demarket him because you have found out that he is the man to beat and he's beating your candidate. Now look at the results that he got from his opinion poll. If another person had conducted this, Reno Mokri will find a way to destroy that very poll. But this happened on his own page, conducted by him. This is what he got. Now, when he ran this poll, 3,241 people on Twitter had voted. Look at what he got. Overwhelming majority, 75.7%, say they believe Obi. They believe Peterobi. Which means they believe what Peterobi read out from his phone about the threat. They say they believe Peterobi. Only 24.3% said agreed with Reno Mokri that it is IPOP hoax. IPOP hoax that thing will be read out from his phone represented. So we found out that he fell woefully to link Peterobi with IPOP. Peterobi defeated him. And that's his mischievous agenda. Now, if Peterobi is not leading, if he's not the one that poses most threat to Atiku Abubakar, Reno Mokri will not concentrate on him. Others will not concentrate on him. If you do newspaper analysis or headline analysis between May and September, you will discover that Mr. Peterobi is the most talked about headline in Nigeria. Every headline, one way or the other, most headlines have to relate to issues that has to do with Peterobi's name appearing. And I'll tell you more about it. Now, this is the more I want to talk about. Daniel Buala, he like to make noises about Daniel Buala is one of the spokespersons of Atiku Abubakar, the PDP presidential candidate. He always make reference to the algorithm of Google, trying to say algorithm of Google as if he knows more than some of us. Some of us we have certificates in digital marketing, so it's not as if we cannot interrogate some of these things when they say it. It's talking about algorithm. What is he talking about algorithm? That is trying to say that they show that those who are supporting people to be the outside Nigeria. It's same material. Many of them are in Nigeria here. Who are those filling the streets when obedience march around Nigeria? They occupy the streets of Port Harcourt, Enugu, Jalingo, Nasarawa, Lafia, everywhere. Are those people are they on social media, or they are live on the streets? In any case, the world we are living in now, there is a thin line between the digital and the virtual and the reality. Okay? It's just like saying that a man who has 100,000 naira cash in his house is better off than a man who has 1 million naira on his phone, which he can send it on his phone digitally. Doesn't make sense. Now, to prove to you that Daniel Buwale is talking badadash when he talks about digital analysis. Because when you talk about digital analytics, I don't think that Buwale knows much about digital analytics than yours truly. That's the truth. I've done some studies on it. Besides, I'm a certified Google digital marketer. So I know what I'm talking about. Now, if you look at the recent revelation by Google, according to Google Analytics, okay, P2B in the first half of 2022, first half of this year, that's between January and July, P2B was the most popular personality in Nigeria in the first half of this year. I will push a link to the stories that had to do with that so that you can also go and verify. He was the most popular personality in Nigeria between January and July this year, and he still remains so. Now, why it is important to know the significance of him emerging the most popular Nigerian, the most goggled person in Nigeria, was because in the first half of the year, there were so many things that happened in Nigeria. There were things that happened in politics. There were high-profile deaths, sports personalities, blockbuster movies, songs, and what have you. But at the end of the day, it was P2B that more people goggled about. More people wanted to know more about him. Why is that so? Because he is the one in the consciousness and subconsciousness of Nigerians. Because he is the one winning the hearts and minds of Nigerians as they grapple with the challenge of picking who will be the next president of the country. So why is P2B the most searched? He is the most searched because his message resonates the most with Nigerians. He is the most searched and most beloved because his message, provides a sense of hope to Nigerians that at last somebody who can help to right the wrongs of Nigerian society has arrived. So based on that, it is a clear indication that it was not a surprise that in an opinion poll, whether it was done online or offline, P2B is going to emerge the most preferred presidential candidate. And if the elections were conducted today, P2B will win. So you can take that to the bank. The ANAP and the NOI and ANAP pool clearly indicated that if this momentum continues, PDP is coasting home with victory, and I cannot agree. I cannot agree more than that, and it is the absolute fact. I have said that before, and I'll keep saying it. That this election, the way it is going, if it is not rigged by the APC or the PDP, if it is free and fair and transparent, going by the 2022 Electoral Act, if it is followed to the letter, Peter Obi will win, and he will win massively, even in unexpected states and zones. Thank you for watching this. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.